All right, guys, welcome to week 6 of the online training program. We have a special guest, a past youth league player, one of the leading scorers and a current coach for us, Maccabi. Thanks for coming down and helping out, mate. Before we get started, a few things. You've obviously had 5 weeks to train so far, which is great. Hopefully you guys have been able to keep up. If you have any questions so far, make sure you get in touch with either Drew or myself. We're here to help you guys, all right? By now, in weeks 2 and 4, you should have had a chance to go over the Maccabi ball handling challenge. You should have been able to practice it, learn it, and hopefully some of you have even been able to time it while you've done it, right? If you haven't yet, please aim to get through that if you can over the next couple of weeks as well. I want everyone to do the ball handling challenge, I think twice a week, but if you can do once a week and that's all you can do, start with that for now, all right? Before we actually get into this next session, just a couple of things that I wanted to talk about as well. Scottie Pippen is one of my favorite players, past players, and one of the quotes that he used to say was that basketball is a lifelong game, right? And that every single time you go out there, every day is an opportunity to actually practice and get better at it, right? And I think that's really important for the times that we're in right now, because for some of you, you might not be bothered going out and doing a workout. The weather might be a little bit cold as we come up into winter. You guys have got to see this as an opportunity to go out there and improve yourself, so that the moment they say we're able to go back into regular training and matches, you've kept up your skills and you've kept up your fitness, all right? Because this is going to be an awesome opportunity for you to be able to separate yourself against others who aren't doing this, all right? But for now, we're going to get going with some dynamic stretching that we've started with. So please stay, get ready, find some space, and we're going to get going in a minute. All right. So for today, we're going to kick on with some of our dynamic stretching to get started. So the first one we're going to do is just going to be some basic lunges. Like we did in the other weeks, you can go up and down or you can do it on the start. So Max is going to head over to the baseline. We'll get this out the way. So the first one's just going to be lunging. So we step forward with one foot, just a step, and we drop our knee to the ground like Max is doing. So we'll do that all the way up. And again, you don't have to step too far in front, just a nice comfortable step forward. Drop your opposite knee towards the ground, and you're going to do that all the way up. Now, if you don't have space, remember, you can just do it on the spot. So it's fine to just stay on one spot. You can lunge down, step back up, and lunge again. All right, so that's going to be your first dynamic stretch. The second dynamic stretch that we're going to do is called a high kick. This one's going to be basically where we kick one of our legs up towards our hand. So it's going to be our opposite hand is going to go forward. So we might put our right foot, or yep, perfect. And then we kick opposite. So if our right hand goes up, we kick it with our left foot. And we do that all the way up, kicking through. Beautiful. And again, if you haven't got space to do it while walking, you can just do it simply on the spot. Kick forward, opposite, go from there. Perfect. All right, so those are your 2 dynamic stretches for this week. Now we're gonna move into something called a glute activation. All right, so this is a really, really important part of training for us. There's a muscle, right? It's our glute muscle, which is sort of on our butt. We need to be able to strengthen that to be able to be the most explosive players we can be. So Max is going to show us a really basic glute activation exercise. We're going to lie down just on the floor on our back to start. All we do from here, right? We want to bring our knees up to about a 90-degree angle. So just like Max has got it there, with our feet nice and flat on the ground. And we want to have our back, shoulders, head nice and flat on the ground as well, all right? All we do, we are essentially going to be trying to get our butt pointing up towards the sky. So we lift our butt up towards the sky, we can and we hold for a couple of seconds, and we drop back down. And our aim is to do 10 of those. So you can do them now as Max is doing them. We're going to go do 10 glute bridges. We'll just do a couple here. You guys at home are looking to do 10 of these, all right? And again, it's not a rush. Like Max is doing, you're nice and controlled, and we're trying to activate that glute muscle. Perfect, we can hold there. Once you've done 10 with 2 legs, so that's doing a glute bridge together, we're actually gonna do a single leg glute bridge. So for this one, you're gonna bring one leg over and across your other leg. So just like Max has got there. We do the exact same thing. We're gonna try and lift our butt off the ground and up towards the sky. And again, we hold and drop back down. And we're gonna go for 5 on each leg. So Max will do his 5 on the one leg. Once he's done that, we'll switch over, Max, so you can do that now, perfect. And then 5 again on the other leg. Perfect, we can end it on that one. So for you guys at home, by now you should have done your dynamic stretching, right? You should still be working your glute bridge. If you need to pause it, take your time with that. feel free to do it. Don't rush through that stuff. And now we're gonna get ready to go with our fitness challenge for the week. So, fitness challenge, we need a skipping rope, which we have over here. If you don't have a skipping rope at home, you guys can just jump on the spot. You can pretend you've got one. You can alternate and jog. We just want to get the heart rate going. So Max is going to skip for a few seconds here. But when you guys do this at home, you're going to go for 2 minutes. So Max will just do a couple of skips, get going. Perfect. If you don't have a skipping rope, so imagine we didn't have that one, you can put the skipping rope down. We can just jump up and down on the spot. And again, you're timing that for 2 minutes, or we can even alternate and just pretend like we're running on the spot. Do whatever you want to do. Just get loose, get warm. All right. That's part 1 of fitness. Part 2 of fitness is going to be something called a burpee. Some of you may have done this before. All we do for this one, we're basically going to drop down onto the ground. So Max is going to get into what we call almost like a push-up position, right? We're not going to be doing the push-up with this. We're just going to be getting up into what we're going to call a star jump almost. So from here, we're going to get into, so we'll go into our burpee from here, Max. So drop down a little, perfect. And then jump up as high up as you can. You're trying to grab a rebound and back down into your push-up position. Legs back in. Yep, and off you go. So up, good. And you're going to keep doing that. And we're going to do 10 burpees. So Max is at 2. Giving us a beautiful day out here. Max hasn't worked out this week. He's happy to do all 10 for us today. Perfect. And when you're jumping up high, you're trying to explode and go grab a rebound. How many are we out there? Cool. 3 to go. Beautiful. All right. So now you guys are going to have a drink break. So have a quick drink break, and we're going to check back in with you guys in a second to go over our defensive component. All right, so now we're going to get into our defensive component of today's online training session, right? So when we start this, there are 2 key points that we have to focus on. Key point number 1 is you never want to play defense straight-legged. We need to be down in stance. We want to be nice and low. So when we do that, we don't drop our body over like this. That's how we're going to get a bad back. We almost want to pretend like we're sitting down into a chair. So we just drop our bum towards the ground. Excellent. Now, when we get low, what that allows us to do, it allows us to explode and move quickly, right? So when we're trying to play defense, instead of someone being able to go straight by you, you're able to react and move, right? So we want to get nice and low in our defensive stance. We always either want to have our hands out wide or our hands high if we're closing out, which are things that we're going to talk about today, all right? So what we're going to do for our defensive closeout drill, Max is going to head over to under the ring. So you're going to start under the basket. Right? What we've set up here is we've got a cone at each elbow, right? If you don't really have that much space to put a cone out there, or you haven't got the area of the elbow, just find a point somewhere in front where you can run out to. You're going to imagine that you're closing that player out like in a game. All we're going to do, so Max is going to start by going out to the green cone. We're going to start under the basket. We're going to come out to the cone with hands high. So that's going to be part 1. We're coming out with hands high. Part 2 to our closeout is we want to start with some really big explosive steps, followed by really short choppy steps to control ourselves and get balance. So we're going to do 5 each way just to warm up our closeout start. So hands high to hands wide, big steps to small steps. Let's have a look at a couple on that side. Perfect. Now we'll do 5 to that one. Nice. Good, good, good. So you can see how Max is exploding on the first few steps and then chopping his steps to control himself towards the closeout. We'll do 2 more there. Hands high to hands wide. Perfect. 1 more. Excellent. And back there. Now we'll switch the way that we go. So now that we've gone out that side, we're going to go out to the other side. We're doing the exact same thing. So Max, you can start us off there. Big steps, choppy steps, hands high to wide. Good. So for those of you that should be doing this at home, the reason we come out with hands high to start is we want to try and take away the shot from our player. And then we go hands wide so we can take away passes and we can try and disrupt their dribble. How many is that? Cool. Perfect. All right. So once you've done 5 closeouts and you're getting used to that stance, we're going to move into part 2. This time we're going to do the exact same thing. So we're going to close out to the defender, right? But when we get there, we're imagining that they may have passed the ball. So now we need to turn and sprint back to recover, and then we're going to close out the opposite side. So Max is going to do a walkthrough of that. So we'll close out this cone, hands high, hands wide. We're going to turn and sprint to the base and straight away go into a closeout towards the other side. And again, hands high, hands wide, turn and sprint. So Max is going to get ready. You guys are going to do this while he's going. We're doing 10 in total, 5 to each side. We want to go game pace for this one. Up you go. Good, that's 1. Good, 2. Good stuff. Nice. Good. Excellent. Looking good. So you should be getting a little bit tired while you do this. It's not meant to be easy. We want to work our defense so when we come back, we're ready to go. Good. That's 7. Cool. 3 to go. Work hard here, guys. Good. Nice. Last one. And done. Great work. All right. So grab a drink now. You guys have got a quick drink break, and then meet us back here for our shooting challenge, which is going to start in 30 seconds. All right. Hopefully everyone has had a chance to have a drink, feeling ready to go for our shooting challenges for this week. So today we're focusing on the layup area. Right, we're going to be starting a couple of steps away from the ring on one side of the basket. So Max is going to head over to the right side for now. I'll get out the way so you guys can see. If you want to adjust the spacing and you need to be a little bit creative with this, depending on the area you're working at, that's fine as well. So you can stand. What I would suggest is maybe just start under the basket somewhere, take a couple of steps towards one side, maybe 3 or 4 steps, and that's your marker to do this. All right, so that's what we're working. We want to start on one side of the basket. Some of you guys, especially some of the kids that I've worked with and coached before, would have done this. This is our X layup challenge. What we're focusing on here, when we're on the right side, right? So when we're on the right side to start, we want to step opposite foot to start, right? So the first step we take when we dribble is going to be called our dribble step. So let's just have a demo of just that first step. So just step into your left. So we're stepping left with that right dribble. So hold there. That there is our first step. That's our dribble step, right? Once we've put our dribble step down, we're going to bring in our second step right now. So we've got our dribble step. So left foot, perfect. Then our next step's going to follow, and that's going to be our gather step. So we step into our right. We've already picked up our dribble here. So we've done our dribble step. We've done our gather step. And now our final step is going to be the step that we jump and shoot on. So Max is going to step back onto his left and drive up for a layup. Perfect. So when you see that all together, we'll do it there again. Again, you don't have to go slow with it. We're just going straight into it. So dribble step, gather step, layup step. So that's our layup footwork that we want to get, right? You've got one dribble from this spot. So if you need to move a bit closer so that you can do it with one dribble, that's fantastic. So Max can take in a step if he needs, and it's the exact same thing. Dribble step, gather step, layup step. There you go, right? Now, once you get used to the footwork, so maybe practice that a few times, you're going to move over onto the left-hand side. The only difference on this side is you just reverse the footwork. So we're going to go left hand, which means we're going to step into our right foot as our dribble step, back onto our left for our gather step, and then our right is going to be our shooting step there. So let's do one of them. Beautiful. All right, now the way this challenge works, the first series, you get 1 minute. You're going to go side to side, trying to make as many layups as you can, all right? The rules are you get one dribble, right? One dribble max, and you must get the correct footwork. Try and use the correct hand on either side. So right hand, right side, left hand, left side, right? You do not need to dribble once you've made the shot. So if you make the basket, so Max is running there and make a layup for us, when you get to this next side, you can just pick the ball up and sprint out here as quick as you can and get ready to go. The only time you need to dribble is when you're going in for the layup, all right? Everything's worth one. You guys can do this at the same time as Max. I'll get out the way so you guys can see him. You get 1 minute. Keep your score out loud. Let's see what Max can put up for this week. Ready, set, go. Good. Nice. You got 2 there. Excellent. 3. So as you can see, doing a great job of getting that footwork down pat. Looking really good. 4. 40 seconds to go, guys. Keep working. 5. Good. So keep reminding yourself you've got that dribble step, gather step, and then your last one's driving you up towards the ring. 25 seconds to go. How many is that? 8. 9 layups here. Looking good. 15 seconds to go. It's going to be a great score. 10. 10 seconds to go. 11. 5 seconds to go. We got 12. 3, 2, 1, and time. All right, what do we get? 13. All right, get your breath back. So 13 is a great score. Great score. All right. For some of our younger kids, especially under 8s, under 10s, or if you're new to the game, right now your focus is to really get that footwork right. So if you just want to sort of practice that, you might not even want to time or do the challenge this week. That's fine as well. If you practiced it before and you get what we're trying to do, see how you guys can go against Max's score. All right, so 1 minute. The next one, we're going to move on to variation number 2. So we start on the right-hand side again. The layup we're working this time is called a power layup, right? So the footwork, again, it's a little bit tricky, but I'm going to help you guys through it. So just like before, we still take our first step onto our opposite foot, which is our dribble step. So nothing changes there. We're still going to take our second step as our gather step, and that's going to be our right foot in this case. But now when we gather, instead of going gather step, layup step, we're actually going to do what's called a power layup. So we're going to go a gather step straight into our shooting step, which is going to follow shortly, and then we're going to power up off 2 feet. All right. So watching Max here for a sec. So we go dribble step, and then gather into your second, and you're up off 2. So watching here. Perfect. So do that again. See if we can slow it down a little bit. It is tricky to do slow. So dribble step, and then you're gonna gather, step, and straight up. So the only difference here is you're jumping off 2 feet as opposed to going up off 1. All right. When we move to the other side, exact same thing. We're just gonna flip it. You're gonna do your dribble step onto your opposite foot. So we're stepping onto our right, and then we gather left, right, and up. Excellent. And straight up. Now, when we do our power layup, right, it's really important that when you land on those 2, you actually hold for a sec, right? So do that one again. If you can, hold for a little bit longer when you get into your power. Up you go. Bang. So step off it. He's got it. All right. So watching on the left-hand side now we're going to go into it. So same thing. We've got that dribble step, and then we're going to gather and do it off a power layup. All right. So you've got 1 minute. Start at an elbow. Which side you're going to start at? Right side. 1 minute continuous power layups. So you're going to step left foot, and then it's right gather, and then you're going to get your rebound, get to the other side, do the same thing. All right, so start on the left-hand side. I'm going to get the timer ready, guys. You get 1 minute. Do it with me as we start. I'll give you a countdown. Get yourself ready. Starting in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Good. There you go. 1. Perfect. Dang. Now we're talking. Good. Keep going. Keep your score. Nice. Good stuff. So you can see Max is doing a great job of making sure that the footwork is nice and controlled. He's doing a really explosive power up, right? Keep working for 30 seconds. Keep your score. Keep your score. The beauty of the power up, as you guys can see, is it just gives you a little bit more balance, and it gives you that power. Right, so if you're trying to do a move against the defender, they might be coming over to block you, trying to change your shot. You're able to actually brace a little bit better for the contact and finish through it. Keep going. 8 seconds to go. What do we got, Max? 7 here. Let's go. 3, 2, 1, and time. All right. So, what do we get? 8. All right. 8 for the power layups. All right, the last series for this week is going to be our up and unders. I will show you the footwork. This is probably going to be a little bit tricky for some of the younger kids. So if you guys are finding it hard with either the basic X layups or the power layups, keep practicing that for this week, right? Don't worry about this next one. For some of our older kids and more experienced players that have got that other stuff down, you guys can move into the up and under. All right. Now, anyone that I've coached knows how much I love this move, right? I think this is one of the best things that you guys can learn around the ring. It's a really simple, but a really effective way to lose a defender and control your finishes, right? So the way this one works, we start on the right side. Just like before, we've still got our dribble step, which is onto our opposite foot, but now we're actually gonna step off that dribble step and try and land into a jump stop around the block, right? So Max is gonna give us a demo, so dribble step and land into a jump stop. Perfect. Now, let's do that one again, just back it up. See if you can land a little bit further out, maybe around the block area. So again, dribble step into a jump stop and land. Perfect. Now, when we do our up and under, right, like the name suggests, what we want to try and do here is we want to try and get the defender up in the air, right? So that's where the up part comes. And the way we do that with a nice ball fake. So we bring the ball ideally up to our ear height, even above our head, right? And we have to make it look believable. So we're imagining we're shooting the ball, we do a nice big fake with the ball, right? That's going to get the defender to hopefully jump up, right? Once we've done the up, we're now actually going to step through, go under the defender and finish in the middle. So Max is going to step through onto his right, yep, and step through and finish strong there. Perfect. So we'll do that again on the right side. So it's land onto, into your jump stop, up and under. Perfect. And it's a left hand finish through the middle. We'll do the same thing on the left side now. You're going to go dribble step into a jump stop. Perfect. Up fake, step through, and you're finishing through the middle with your right hand. All right. So get ready on one side, Max. You've got 1 minute. Again, if that's tricky for you guys, just pause the tape here. You can rewind it, watch it back, keep practicing your footwork. If you have any questions on it, email us and we'll help you out with it. So you got 1 minute. Let's see what we can get. Ready, set, go. Yeah, good, good. Nice, one, beautiful. Keep working, I'll get out the way. Yeah, nicely done, nicely done. Keep your score. Excellent footwork. So as you can see, when Max is working out here, he's doing a great job of focusing on getting the footwork correct. The finish side of it, that we can keep working at. There he is, keep working. 30 seconds to go, guys. Keep going. 20 seconds to go. Keep going. 15 seconds. Good. 8 seconds. So if you find your shot is dropping short on these ones, make sure you give it a bit more. Give it some height, give it some power. And time. What do we get? 5. All right, so 5 is the score to beat for our up and unders. So that's it for our shooting session for this week. So Max, thank you very much. You can go have a drink break and relax, and we'll check back in with you for week 8. Guys, before we wrap this up, a few things. I know some of those will be a little bit tricky. If you have any questions, make sure you get in touch with either Drew or myself. We will help you guys get that right, all right? Practice them, then time yourself and do the challenge. Let us know how you go, see if you can beat any of Max's scores for this week. And we'll see you guys in 2 weeks' time for week 8.